Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of 99 or Bust. It's been a little while since I put out a 99 or Bust video, so I thought I'd looked at some old videos and want to change some things up. Before we get into the video, though, as always, guys, if you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you would like to see more videos of mine, please hit the subscribe button. And as always, hit that bell notification so I know when new videos are coming out. New videos out every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday as of now. Or maybe might be changing that schedule up yet. Who knows? Haven't decided. We'll figure it out when we get there, right? But without further ado, let's jump right into that episode of 99 or Bust. So, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. And I decided I'm going to kind of tell you about I'm going to describe the card first now, and then I'm going to tell you if I think it's a bust or not. And then I'm going to explain why I think that way. I'm not going to break it down floor versus ceiling. I'm just going to tell you my opinion on the card. I feel like that's why we're all here. So the card I want to go over today is going to be Rhythm of the Wild. Now, Rhythm of the Wild is a 1 green-red, so Gruul enchantment that says creature spells you cast cannot be countered. It also says non-token creatures you control have Riot. So what Riot is when a creature with Riot enters the battlefield, you choose whether that creature gains haste or a +1/+1 counter. Pretty cool. Now, jumping right into it, guys. My first opinion on this is I think this card is 100% goes to the 99. Do it. Play this card. It is so good. Play it in any Gruul deck you can slap it into. Because if you're playing a Gruul deck, you're playing a lot of creatures. Right? Right. Everyone knows that. Kind of Gruul's thing. They want to just turn dudes sideways. Unless you're playing like some weird Gruul deck. Which I probably would play a weird Gruul deck with very few creatures. Getting off topic. But anyways, if you're going to be playing Gruul deck, you're playing a lot of creatures, right? And besides removal spells, like, creatures getting killed, what's the thing that happens a lot to creatures? They get countered. Blue players, we love countering spells. We love the word no, Scotty. I'm proud of that one. I'm keeping it in. So blue players love to counter spells. Black players love to kill creatures. But what's worse, having your creature die or having your creature countered? Typically, if one of your creatures dies, you get to have some sort of trigger. If you're playing some sort of Jund deck that cares about creatures dying, you get to have some sort of trigger that plays off that. Or you could sacrifice it to another effect so that you can play around it being removed. But creatures straight up being countered feels bad. It feels bad. Especially when you play it in, kind of like those big stompy decks where you run a lot of really big creatures and you're only casting maybe 1 or 2 of them per turn. And when they get countered, it feels bad, guys. I'm not going to say stop countering the big creatures because they're scary. And as a blue player, you don't want to deal with scary. But that's the point. That's why you run Rhythm of the Wild. So not only is it protection from that blue player on the table, because every table's got one, but it's also gives you a cool ability. So a lot of these, big stompy creatures you want to play and you want to cast, you want to do something with them most of the time when they enter the battlefield. Some of them have really cool ATB triggers, and that's cool and everything. But the fact that you get to choose whether you want to pump that dude up one more step, put that +1/+1 counter on them, or, hey, I'm slamming this fat creature down, and I'm swinging right now. That's your choice. It is definitely your choice. It's a great card. I have it in almost every one of my green red decks. I don't run a Gruul deck specifically, but I have a Naya deck, I have a Jund deck, and I have a Temur deck. That's 3 decks. I've got 3 copies of this card, 1 in each deck. So I say run it. Yes, for an uncommon, it's a little expensive, but I mean, it does the same thing as a couple other cards, only a little bit better because it's going to make those creatures that you're stopping from being countered, you're making them more of a threat than they normally are. Giving them that riot trigger. Oof. Chef's kiss. I'll chef's kiss that riot trigger all day long. I don't care. So, it's comparable to, cards like Vexing Husher It's comparable to the enchantment creature that came out in Theros block. I'm gonna put it on the thing. That's a Destiny something, Destiny Spinner. I don't remember. I'm a bad Magic player. I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, it's comparable to those, but the problem with those is they're creatures. A Vexing Husher, you need to have the mana to pay into it to make the spell uncounterable. Yes, he makes any spell uncounterable, but still, 3 mana, enchantment. No, it doesn't do anything right away, but every time you're going to cast that creature spell, you're giving your mana dorks haste. You're giving, your big dudes haste. You're giving them more counters if they already have haste. I can go on and on and on about this card, but I'm pretty sure you guys already get the point. I like it. It's good. I say run it. It definitely belongs in the 99 in my opinion. And as always, guys, play more games!